Alright, for 5 part A, we need to set up a recurrence relationship to start with. So to do that, we need our interest value. Our interest value is going to be 5% of the amount of money we have, our principal. So it's going to be principal times the interest we have. So here we have 645 and we're multiplying it by 5% or 0.05. That gives us $32.25 in interest. We know that this value is our interest value, but also it is our D value. 645 is our principal value, but in terms of a recurrence relation, it is our V0, our initial starting value. So in terms of our relation, is V0 equals 645, and Vn plus 1, which is the next term in the sequence, is going to be whatever Vn is, so whatever term we're looking at, plus the interest of 32.25. That's our recurrence relation. So the next step, before you graph it, you gotta be able to use the table for the first 5 years. I'm going to do it for the first 2 years, and then I'll leave graphing up to you guys, because I'm sure you guys can graph a point, a set of coordinates. So in terms of this, we have 645 to start with. We know that our interest value is our common difference, 32.25, and we know Vn plus 1 will be 32.25 plus our interest. So I'm going to add those two together. That gives me 677.25. That value there is the amount I have in the bank at the start of the next year. My interest value doesn't change, so I'm going to add those two together. That gives me $709.50. $709.50 is the start of the second year. We add 32.25, and that gives us $741.75. Alright, so when we go to graph it, if you carry out that calculation for the third and fourth year, you get 774 and 806.25. Then it is simply graphing these values against your term number. Your term number is the years on your x-axis. This is your value of the investment. So things to notice with this graph are, I'm gonna just focus this a little. Alright, so I have to zoom in a little. Okay, so first of all, the squiggly line. If you don't know what the squiggly line means, it means they are not considering any values between 600 and 650, because our starting value is 645. Next, all our values they've put here as coordinates. So the first dot is 0 on the x, 645 on the y. Second dot is at time 1 year, value 677.25. And they've plotted those dots and then drawn a line through it. They've graphed those dots.